Hey Kate, my weekend is going well, you? Or my evening, rather. Oh, I just thought it was a weekend. I've been watching a lot of movies back to back lately. I'm really more of a music person, but I find myself watching a lot of movies lately for some reason. Nothing important. I was just talking about how I was watching movies. Thank you. You can post whenever you're ready. Go to ag reading here for Kate, please. Reading here for Kate Steen, please, sir. Thank you. Make it very clear, yes or no. Accurate messages only. Is the person on Kate's mind supportive of them? Is the person that's on Kate's mind at this time they're referring to in the chat and they're worried and asking about? Is that person supportive of Kate? Is the person that Kate's thinking supportive of them? Ooh. The whole half of the deck fell. Is the person that Kate thinking of supportive of them? Oops. feel like right now it's a no, but in the future things could change. Right now it could just be like a selfish energy. It's like they see something that is beneficial to them. It's like a what's in it for me kind of thing. Or again, I might support if it makes me look good or something in it for me. It's like a reason behind it. It's not just like support just to support, if that makes sense, kind of thing. I feel like this is the type of person who's not that trusting, and it's like you have to support them first before they even consider supporting you, kind of thing. They could be a bit stubborn. Yeah, it's like they could be used to one certain lifestyle, and they can't relate to different, people having different lifestyles than what they were like taught or how they were raised or how they see fitting. So it's like until they kind of like learn their lesson or put themselves in other people's shoes or something like that kind of happens, they probably wouldn't be in general supportive of like others, or at least initially supportive, without that person being supportive a few times first. People have to prove themselves first, or like hold up their end of the deal or bargain first before they even, you have free will. So this could be telling you to utilize your free will. Maybe it's just telling you don't have to do a certain something. We have in a few weeks, so in a few weeks something can be significant between you and this person. The name Sherry or Cherry could be significant. Yeah, just again, I don't see them like blind supporting. I don't think they probably believe in blind supporting. I feel like this is a very like energy person. It's like they don't give their energy to everyone, which is not a bad thing, but since nothing will come of the situation for course moon. So it's either you don't have to worry about something or you need to put more efforts into something. I think you know which one it will be. If you haven't been putting in much efforts into something, then of course it's that one. If not, then it's like you don't really have nothing to worry about. Like even if the person isn't supportive of you, it's not that basically it's not the end of the world. It's not like you can't make it without them kind of thing. You know what I mean? It says meditate and contemplate moon in Pisces. So meditating more could bring you answers, peace, balance, all that good stuff. Yeah, I feel like this person, again, they're really just thinking about themselves, honestly. Like, they might have stood you up, stood a lot of people up. A lot of stuff could have been going on. I don't think they're that self-aware, self-aware. It's like they're looking to they're looking for their yin, or is it the yin or the yang? No, they're looking for their yin. I think they're looking for their yin, but they're not being the yang, if that makes sense. And that could be in romantic, business, whatever kind of connections. They're not really responsible. They're probably like scratching up stuff, losing stuff, forgetting to remind people or something, or forgetting meetings and appointments and stuff that they had with people, you know. Yeah, it could have been breaking some promises. Yeah, they might need to get some priorities together. I feel like some stuff, it might not necessarily be a thing of support or not support. It could just be like a disagree to agree. You know, not everybody's gonna like everything you do. That doesn't necessarily mean that they don't support you, because people still at the end of the day have their own free will, their own opinion, their own individuality, and everything like that. So you put out, say for instance, you put out a song or you painting or something like that. It's like they don't necessarily have to like it, but like if they're your friend or whatever the case may be, they're genuine and stuff like that. You know, they can still support. You know, buy it, promote it, whatever the case may be, but they don't have to agree with everything, kind of thing. So it could be that as well sometimes. But I do feel like other times it really is about like the support. And it also could be like sometimes if they have fear. So it's like you could go out and want to do something, and it's like, I'm not supporting because it's like I don't like you, or I don't, whatever case may be. It's more so like I'm scared it might not work out or have the right outcome. So you let me know how it goes, kind of thing. But I definitely like, again, I'm getting potential that they could be a little bit more supportive in the future. Just not right now. Right now they don't know what it is to, for to be a team or anything like that. But I do feel like you'll get your wishes met with the Nine of Cups. But they're too like paranoid and like a lot of fear that things could go wrong. They could be even a little skeptical about you as well. That's the ego or the devil or other influence, probably, in their mind. But they could feel like you have a lot of strength. They got a lot of strength. So when you guys do get on like alignment or one accord, things can really work out. I feel like it will be probably a point where you probably let go of being so fixated on this support, and then that's when they come in with the support. There goes that meditating card again. We have need to get new license plate. Somebody needs to get rest. Be more realistic. Your expectations in the future are unrealistic and need revision. Keyword revision. Perhaps your vision is big and may require a plan and more careful thought. You could be setting yourself up for failure if you don't set realistic goals. So maybe like you're more realistic or unrealistic and the other person, vice versa. Could be like one who's more realistic, the other who's kind of like, not so much. But yeah, I feel like eventually they are gonna realize that they like you around more. Hope that gave you clarity. He been acting selfish. Just hope he doesn't hate you. Feel like he keeps trying to embarrass me. Not to embarrass me. He acts like I want his approval. And I literally don't care. Ah, yeah. You don't even have to prove that you don't care either. Because you could tell somebody till they're blue in the face that you don't care, and if they don't believe it, they just don't, you know. He tries to make it out that you have feelings for him to people. Well, that's if you don't, then that's delusional. Well, if his sort support doesn't matter, then why does getting along with him matter? Lying about you. You can't control what everyone says about you. Yeah, that's probably why we keep getting a meditating card because it's like woo sa. You know what I mean? Some stuff you just gotta, you just gotta fight your battles wisely. You got to know what to do with certain people. And I always say this: certain people are different. Some people you can ignore them and it works perfectly. You never have a problem out of them ever again. Some people you have to report. Some people you have to use other tactics to, kind of be cordial or distance yourself or whatever your goal is. I don't know if it's to distance yourself from them completely. I don't know if it's just to get along better. I don't know exactly what it is. But whatever it is, it's like take steps towards, towards it. But you also have to remember that you can't control everything. Like people are gonna talk about you and talk about Jesus. Let them gossip away while you're, basically living your best life. They're the ones who's gonna be, talking about you all day and doing nothing with their lives. So you don't know what you did. Yeah, you'll probably never get that answer. Who knows? You probably will. You probably never will. Um, but don't live your life based on whether you get that answer from them or not. 9 times out of 10 is a problem people have with themselves. 9 times out of 10 it has nothing to do with you. But again, I do see a lot of potential that they could realize that maybe they were an asshole or they just weren't understanding other people or whatever case may be. So that's good. But even if they didn't, let's say they never did, you still have to be the one to make sure that doesn't affect you, or at least affect you a lot. But you can post your other question whenever you're ready. Oh, friend groups like tell them about me. Oh wow. Well, at least they're old friend groups and not still around. Yeah, the Three of Wands, Strength, Ten of Pentacles in reverse, Page of Cups, King of Wands, Three of Pentacles in reverse, Devil, Nine of Cups, Four of Pentacles, King of Swords in reverse, Nine of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, a Chariot. What numbers repeated? 3, 3, and 9. Yep. Maybe stop having patience. It takes a lot to have that for certain people. I started ignoring certain people more, and that worked out for me. Because usually I would feed into it, react, get angry, try to explain, over explain, and that just takes a lot. Like my most recent thing, somebody was saying something kind of get on my nerves early in the morning, and I was already having a good day, and I didn't have time for it. I didn't want that to ruin my day. but I wanted to let them know to explain something that like I wasn't trying to like, harm them or do anything on purpose, or, basically I was doing right. I was doing what I was told about, so I was just kind of like explaining myself. And then I found myself at a certain period there, like, okay, wait, I'm going a little too long. It's taking a lot, and it's starting to mess with the good day that I already was having. So I just, at that moment, once I realized that, I zipped it. I didn't say anything. They were at that point, they were talking to themselves, and then they realized, and then they, went away. And now I don't have any more issues with that person. So yeah, they were just like, you know, being ridiculous and making a fool of themselves and talking to themselves. I just stopped explaining, especially if they're not your boss, they're not really gonna affect you anyhow. That works even more in those scenarios, But when it's like a little bit more of a person who could affect your life, then it's like you got to be a little bit more careful with certain, tactics or whatever. But like if it's somebody who's not really gonna affect anything, yeah, go full fledged. It's like they don't have the power to fire you. They don't have the power to do this, that, and the third. And even if they did have the power to fire you or do it, still don't let that like intimidate you or scare you or shun you or anything like that. It's just about handling it a little bit better. What's so embarrassing? Like if you don't find yourself embarrassing, nobody really can possibly embarrass you. Hey, Leandra's going love. But yeah, whenever you're ready to post your second question, Kate. Yeah, what's so embarrassing? I'm not understanding. Like, does he say, haha, you got tissue on the bottom of your shoe, or you peed your pants, or get up and tell everyone in the room she likes me, or I don't know, what is it? What do they do? He tells people nonsense. Well, if it's not true, then you shouldn't feel embarrassed. Just tell them they're ridiculous. People don't like hearing that. I'm like, you look ridiculous. Well, you're a great fiction storyteller. Hey, Baxter, what's going on, love? Was it through email? I know I seen a post that you made and they wouldn't let me comment back, but I did tag you and tell you that I was live. But if it was an email, I haven't really checked that since this morning. Shout out to everyone that's on the live stream. 4 people, or 5. Hope you're doing well. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell for all that good stuff. Check out the community posts and collective live streams where I do collective readings that you may resonate with. Suggest video ideas for the channel. Yes, I do all kind of readings except mediumship at this time. Claim your donations, especially if your YouTube name is different from PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. I don't buy academic answers just right. What am I forgetting to mention? Personal private readings will go by email, phone, text, private live stream, or private recorded video. Most things are in the description box. If it's not there, please let me know and I will inform you. And thank you for joining me. If you are not donating, that's fine. You still can come in and just chat with the good vibes because it is a free chat zone. I know, very weird. Leandra, I don't know what the heck going on. Thank you. I'll have you right after Kate. You said, how does Taylor feel about you, if any feelings at all? Okay. Well, then you sent for another yes or no, so you have to put that in a yes or no form for me. I guess you could just say, do they have feelings instead of how? Thank you, Leandra. Good recording here for Kate Steen, please, Spirit, thank you. Good recording here for Kate Steen, please, Spirit, thank you. Very act messages only, yes or no, make it very, very clear. Does Taylor have any feelings or feel any way towards Kate Steen? Does Taylor have any feelings or feel any way towards Kate Steen? You too, sweetheart. I want to say yes, but they could be like scared they would like break your heart kind of thing. They do feel like you're very unique and stand out, and they kind of want to see a little bit more of like just how different you know are, with the differences is. They could feel like you really like show your emotions on your face. You're very like natural. Yeah, they could feel like you don't really like speak much, but when you do, it has a lot of meaning. Yeah, they could admire your strength because they could be like, if I was in your position, I would have cried by now, or at least cried in person. So maybe they feel like you go home. Like if you do cry, you probably go home and do it. They could be a Gemini, don't have to be, but Gemini could be very significant. Yeah, they could feel like you kind of wear your pain well. You carry yourself well, you wear your pain well, you have a lot of strength, you have a lot of uniqueness. They could want to grab coffee with you or do something with you. Maybe collect some leaves with you. Anything, I think anything to be around you or communicate. It's almost as if they could have seen maybe like their past self in you or something like that. They could want to extend like an offer or olive branch with the Page of Cups, but maybe not really soon. Could be like a little down the line, because Page of Cups is kind of like premature. That could be significant too. Maybe you were premature or they were. I heard something about foreshadowing and like drawing. So maybe this person draws or you draw. Maybe that's like somebody's doing a comic book or something. I heard the name Petaway could be significant. Cupcakes could be. I wouldn't be surprised if they bring you some cupcakes. Balance spirituality and practicality. Full moon in Pisces. Very close to achieving your goal. Give it moon. Your friend, she's nice. Oh yeah. And it's like you could tell them you're okay, but if she knows you're not, if they know you're not, they're gonna be there. Yeah, they could be wanting you to be like, stop being so scared of like things going wrong between the two of you. Yeah, they feel like nothing will like break you two apart, kind of thing. It's like nothing you can like you can y'all can have a little fight doesn't mean it's like, oh, I'm gonna end the friendship. It will have to take a whole lot more than that. So it's like they don't want you to like worry about anything. Yeah, they could want to like maybe like play around in each other hair and like do something stupid and like laugh and just have fun, you know. Y'all could like text other people for each other. Like if you're scared to send a text, they might do it for you or vice versa, you know. Yeah, I definitely feel like you guys can have a lot in common. You do still have your differences, but you can also have like a very lot in common. And it's like, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Y'all like thinking the same thing. Maybe y'all want to drink out of big old wine glasses and just be silly and silly together. Maybe cry together, laugh together, all that together. Yeah, it's like certain stuff that they don't tell anyone else, they tell you. You know. It's like I didn't even tell my sister or my mom about this. I told you though. You know. Sometimes maybe you guys are closer to each other than your own families. And it's like if you need space, they'll understand that and give that, and vice versa. It's like no hard feelings. And again, like I said, you'll send out the text. You'll send out the text if the other feels uncomfortable, or if like someone's treating you on and treating you wrong. They're like, you know, or if you're not interested, it's like she's interested. Okay, if you can't voice it, they'll voice it for you. If they can't, you will. You know, pretty much. If they know you got allergies, they're gonna make sure they can do something not for that not to happen. You know. Yeah, and I see how you said they're very intuitive because we got the wisdom card out here, and it's gonna be something else that you guys share. I don't know why I heard oysters with ketchup and crackers or something. Maybe you guys are eating. Yeah, learning to accept each other for who you are, kind of thing. It also could be an energy. I don't know if this is your energy or hers. I think it could be yours, but if not, it could be hers, of course. It could be like a I don't really want to say jealousy. It could just be more so like I don't want to bring another new friendship or something else into this connection until we've kind of deepened it a little bit more for that like security. I'm also hearing don't hold a grudge. There's nothing to hold a grudge about. You guys could be having like a me day together. Technically, it would be, not necessarily me day because you're with each other, but still kind of like a me day, if that makes sense. And it's like, again, like, you don't have to work. It's like you don't have to work hard. I got it, and vice versa. When you're lacking or tired or whatever the case may be, that's where they come in, and vice versa. So I'm thinking you clarity. Nine of Swords in reverse, Tower, Three of Swords, Knight of Cups, High Priestess, Page of Cups, Temperance, Three of Pentacles, and the Moon card. The rest are Oracle and Tarot. Did we get any repeating numbers or anything? Number 3, once again. Thank you. So have you right after Leandra. Realizing she doesn't want. Yeah. Why are you so worried about that? What do you think is wrong with you? Leandra, are you here and ready for your question, love? Leandra, if you're here, love, please post your question. Probably gonna use the bathroom really quick. Alright, back in. I had to use the restroom really quick. Alright, Leandre, say how will Joshua and your date go? Go to record here for Leandre card, please, Spirit. Go to record here for Leandre card, please, Spirit. Accurate messages only. How will Leandra and Joshua's date go? Congrats on your date as well. How will Joshua and Leandra's date go? How will the date between Leandra and Joshua go? Coming up. Date coming up between Leandra and Joshua. How will it go? One more time. How will the date go between Leandra and Joshua? Oh, there you go. I'm gonna come out. Ooh, I like this. I freaking like this. Already. I think we're about to get into some stuff. I will say the temptation is going to be strong. I will say that indefinitely. Because it kind of seems like it's going to be like a movie love story kind of vibe. You know how it's like they're walking and talking and it's like all into each other and stuff. That's the vibe. It's kind of like giving me very honest vibes. Like you can really connect with the person. It's not all these walls up. You know what I mean? It's not all this ego up. It's not all these walls up. It's not all this, you know. I think it's a little less nervous than maybe usual. Than usually are. They usually are, you know. Even though, like, don't get me wrong, got really into each other, so that could be a thing to be nervous. But for some reason, you guys are very like comfortable. Maybe it's just a scenario or context of everything. I don't know. But I feel like y'all could be like seeing a lot of signs and synchronicities together that you guys are both pointing out. Like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of donkeys. Oh my gosh, we keep seeing eights everywhere. Oh my gosh, this keeps happening, that keep happening. So it could be really cool that you guys are keep seeing like a lot of stuff together. Um, I'm a little nervous. I think it'll come down. Yeah, and it's like he's really gentle and careful. It's like, don't get your shoes dirty. Yeah, I think you will have that nervous feeling, but I honestly think it will come down because you guys are going to be able to communicate so well and it flows naturally. Like you're not really having to think so hard of the next thing to say. You know what I mean? Like it's really flowing and going like smooth, I feel like. It's like, oh, so you're from here, oh this, oh that. Like it's just coming in. It's not any like awkward pauses. It's not any again having to force to think of a question, having to like because maybe sometimes you felt like, okay, I'm out of questions, or is it any more to know of this person, or like, you know what I mean? Like, has the spark already ended? And I don't think you're gonna get any of that here, so that's a good thing. I don't know if y'all are going like paintballing, horseback riding, or where y'all going. I think so, because that's what I'm seeing here, but. They could be like teasing you because you like puzzles or certain stuff like that. But they're just joking. Going to the movies. Yeah, so it could either be that or it could be maybe the movie you're seeing got some of these things in it. And I feel like they could be like purposely laughing and like, you know how people laugh and hit you and stuff like that. They just want to touch you. And I feel like they might, like they could like want to like hug you and everything like that. They might not necessarily because they don't want you to get like the wrong impression. Not only that, they don't want to like get tempted. Because I feel like if this person does, like they can easily fold kind of thing. So they might try to control themselves. If y'all are going to the movies, this is gonna be like the sweetest movies ever. I'm seeing like a little gated thing that you go in. Nice lighting. I thought they really depend. They're dependent on this date. They're really dependent on it too. Like they would be extremely disappointed if you were like, actually no, never mind, or something else came up or something like that. They'd be like very sad and disappointed. Because I feel like they already kind of like bought stuff for the date and got stuff prepared and stuff like that. Like they already probably got them a new outfit or some new shoes or something that they needed or feel like they wanted. They already got a haircut or whatever, you know, they already got some stuff together. So that would make it be even worse if it kind of like didn't go, you know. So it's like they're just like crossing their fingers kind of thing. Again, like I said, if you do get nervous, it's not going to be that nervous though. Like you'll eventually, you know, ease into it. You know, maybe he gets nervous and drops his fork or something. Yeah, I'm hearing get off your phone, so they can want your undivided attention. I feel like they love the debate. You might not necessarily love the debate, or this could be your energy and they don't like the debate. So it could be like some things that you don't really like, but you know, of course, not everybody perfect, and you're not gonna agree with everything. It could just be like you know what things you like about them, what things you dislike, kind of thing. And it's like let's not debate. I just want to have fun. Let's not turn this into a debate class or something else. Yeah, and I feel like you're gonna put them to the test immediately because you could have maybe dealt with this in the past where it's like people were, you know, men were all talk, they'll talk a good game. So you'll dream like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna buy you this, I'm gonna do that, da, 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 I'm gonna treat you right, blah, 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 and just keep going on. And then it never happened, or it did, but it was the bare minimum, or just something was wrong. So it's like I'm not having that. You might not have a lot of patience. It's like, oh, you are okay. Do it right now, pretty much, or within the next 3 days. Nothing further than that. If I don't see any action, you're out of here. I don't blame you, because it's like you don't have the energy space for all that. They may like blow a hair out of your eye or something like that. Not to even be cliche or corny or anything like that. It really does seem like this could be like it's gonna feel like a scene out of a freaking movie that everybody is into and rooting for the couple and all. That's how it's gonna feel. Yeah, it's like gonna feel like you feel like finally they feel man enough, and they're gonna feel the same way. Finally, she feels woman enough. You know. Might have to clarify the strength card here. I do feel like it's like y'all both gonna try to upgrade each other. Not to say it's anything wrong or anything like that, but it could just be like a, I gotta put you on to a lot of movies, so you done missed out on my guy, or whatever case may be. Because it's like, well, you haven't seen that movie, one of those things. Like what? Or you don't get the inside joke. Like maybe if y'all go to the movies, it's like a certain reference that they use from another movie, and then they're like, oh, you didn't get that? Oh yeah, you gotta watch that. There's no way. One of those things. So it could be like you feel a little judged, but you look over it like, okay, it's not that serious. I hate when people do that. Like, what? You haven't seen that? What? Yeah, where have you been? Living on a rock? Blah, blah, blah. I hate people do that. So they might do one of those little things, but you just kind of like let it go. Um, yeah, I feel like they might drink their drink real fast. Like, dang. You're probably looking like, you sure can put it away. I feel like he's going to be very smooth. So again, you have to be careful with the temptation. You also got to be careful with the temptation, because you're looking real good. But it's not like you're doing anything to them. I don't think so. You know, they're just being tempted. But I definitely feel like with him, I don't think he's doing it on purpose. I think he just is a smooth guy. And this might be one of the smoothest guys you met. So it's like kind of a little tempting. And it's like you gotta fan yourself, you gotta like put some ice on yourself, you gotta walk away for a moment, you gotta probably take a cold shower, you probably gotta do something, especially if it in general it's been a while since like a man held you or looked at you or talked to you or anything like that. That also could make it even stronger. Ooh. You can find out like your favorite food they're allergic to or vice versa. So it could be like the irony of it. Yeah. I feel like they're gonna be texting you afterwards with a whole bunch of smiley emojis saying they had a good time. Yeah, it could be like a lot of love where you guys are going, whether that's the restaurant, movies, or both, or whatever. It's like a lot of love there. It's like everybody got feel the loves in the air. They could be a Taurus, don't have to be, but I'm getting like Earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. So you could be feeling like grounded, like you're supposed to be there, and not anywhere else at the time. You could accidentally like butt down someone during, or this could be like they accidentally take a picture of you. Yeah, I'm hearing the movie might be super long. I really feel like y'all might be going more to just the movies or maybe scratching movies. I don't know. Because it's getting a vibe that maybe either you or him, maybe both of you kind of feel like with the movies are not going to really get to know each other as much because we're going to mainly have to focus on watching the movie. You can't really talk and do all that in the movies. So we're not really going to be talking to each other. And it's like, I want to talk and get to know. So it's like, maybe another scenario. So it's kind of giving me that maybe you guys will do more than that or something. What about the strength card? Yeah. He really putting the moves on. Not like sexually, but like more like romantically. Again, blowing a thing out your eye. Probably like, wiping something off your mouth. Like. And it's like, oh, geez, don't do that. And it's like, I wish you a lot of success. And it's like everything they're saying, you know. Yeah, could joke around with each other. Like, I'm gonna count how many times you say or okay, or if somebody says something a lot, it's like I'm gonna count it. But again, it could be like a little nervousness. I just don't feel like it's gonna be a lot. Maybe he kind of like blows his water and realizes it's not hot. It doesn't need to be blown. It's just water. Or it could be embarrassed because they have a lot of alarms going off. Heard something about Star Wars. Speaking of alarms, you could laugh at him because maybe it's like you look at a couple stores and it's like, oh, this is cute. I see you in this, and it's like that's for pregnant women, and it's kind of like you just laugh, kind of thing. You guys could also be like riding around, like kind of commenting on like people's Halloween decorations and stuff like that. Yeah, I feel like you guys will hold hands during prayer over the food. Whoops. Y'all might complain about the seats like hurting or something. But it's like the sacrifice is worth having this date, despite like certain conditions. Yeah. Might love you. And again, I just keep getting that there in this King of Cups energy, very honest. So it could be like, look, I'm not rich, kind of thing. You know, this is my budget. You know, kind of thing. But it's like I'm still gonna try to make everything like worthwhile. I just heard it's not your booty, it's your beauty. So corny. Y'all also could be like playing around with chat GPT, like asking it like weird or funny, like crazy questions and seeing the response and just like laughing with each other or asking Siri or something like that and just like laughing. Just having a grand time for the most part. Except the part where they might be a little judgy about you haven't seen something. But other than that, I feel like it would be like and then in the like conditions of the place. Other than those things like little things, I feel like you'll have a like good time. They could also be like, dang, you don't trust nobody. They could want to like help you to like trust more. They could also speak for you, like, oh, she'll like a refill, you know, even though you didn't ask or something like that. But they could feel like they know that eventually you'll want it, even though you said no, because you could be like, oh no, I don't want anything, and then like 10 minutes later, it's like, actually, I do want a refill. Yeah, you both don't want it to end. Yeah, her. Am I your usual type? I do feel like it could be a possibility that you guys like tie each other out. So it's like don't go to like assuming if the other person doesn't like communicate as fast, they can still be like tired and recovering. I just heard something about like what's your father's legacy or something about your generation or your last importances of last names and like I don't know, you guys could be kind of getting deep at some point. We have luck. You could be seeing a lot of ladybugs. Your luck is about to change for the better. You could get a lucky break, some financial breakthrough. Anything you do now will be very prosperous. It says I'm allowing the universe to show me the way if it's meant to be. So it's like you guys are kind of like going with the flow. We have double mission, light worker, star seed, serve the world by being you. Yeah, that's all you can do right now at this time. Really in general, but yeah, it says Childs of the Cosmos, the intelligent universe lies within you. So maybe you both talk about like being like chosen or blessed or something like that as well. But yeah, I hope they get you clarity. If you got something out of that, and I hope to see you around some other time with updates if you like to share. Um, you have the Page of Pentacles in reverse, Death card, Seven of Wands in reverse, Five of Wands, Six of Pentacles, High Priestess, the Tower, Four of Cups, King of Wands, Strength, Eight of Pentacles, Two of Wands, King of Cups, Hermit in reverse, Nine of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Hierophant, Queen of Pentacles, and a Temperance. And I don't know what seven. Yeah, I don't think it was any repeating other numbers, but again, guys could be getting like a lot of signs, synchronicities, and symbols and all that throughout your date. You too, hon. Enjoy that date. Let me know. Okay, I'm ready for you now, hon. You can post your question. Oops, did I mean to post that? Last call for donations. Last call for donations. Official last call for donations. Kate, you can go ahead and post your question. Accurate reading here for Kate Steen, please, Spirit, thank you. Accurate reading for Kate Stein, please, Spirit, thank you. Accurate messages on person, I'll make it very, 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 very extremely clear. Will the person on Kate's mind be angry when they see Kate get this new opportunity? Will the person be upset when Kate gets this new opportunity? Will the person that Kate's thinking of be upset or angry when Kate gets this new opportunity? Will the person on Kate's mind be angry when Kate gets this new opportunity, when they see Kate get this new opportunity? Will the person that's on Kate's mind be angry when they see Kate get this new opportunity? Yes or no? One more time. Will the person on Kate's mind be angry when they see Kate get this new opportunity? I'm getting a no, but there could be this energy that they thought they like knew how your life was going to turn out. They thought they predicted something. They thought they could be like a little bit of I don't want to say know it all, but they could just be like they put a lot of like perceptions and projections onto people. I don't even think that they're always probably like malicious or doing it on purpose. It could just be like, how they seem like, oh, I never seen this person singing or this person dancing or this person doing this or this person being bisexual or this person being like, so it's like they're wrapped up in their own mind of like what's for someone kind of thing. They might have not seen, it's just basically they didn't see the vision. And not everybody's going to see the vision, and they don't have to, and it's not their responsibility to. You're supposed to see your own vision. And the people who get it, and people who don't, they don't. You know what I mean? So I think it's more so of like they didn't really see the vision. They saw another vision for you. But again, their perception of you is not your destiny. You know what I mean? Your destiny is your destiny, not what people think your destiny should be, or what they thought it was, or predicted it to be, or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? Like with what type of dream or fairy tale or expectations or whatever they had in their own head doesn't mean that that's true for you. So I think that's basically that. I don't think it's like, oh, I'll be angry, upset, or I'll try to rage you or harm you or anything. It's just more so it could be like a little shocking to them, a little like they might be a little thrown off. They might be a little like, this is unexpected. How did this happen? Flash between, it flashed right by my eyes, kind of thing. Maybe they feel like, oh, 1 minute you were there, or something else is going on, and now you're here, kind of thing. So it's like I think they will definitely be like supportive, but they might not be extra excited because they could still be like a little confused. It's like I don't know if that makes sense, like a confused support. It's kind of like, say for example, it was a crowd of people, and you're celebrating, you just talking about this news. Everyone's like, oh, happy, smiling, clapping, real loud, and all that. They be like with the confused look. You know what I mean? But it's not like a angry sitting there not clapping, or you know what I mean? It's not like that, but it's kind of like a what in the world just happened kind of thing. Like, am I in a twilight? Like, they might feel like they're in the twilight zone, or they're in a dream, or you know, shoot, maybe even did have a dream. They might have. But it says, don't worry, people think about you. And I was gonna probably say that too. Like, who gives a crap? Clap for yourself. You probably did too much clapping for other people that you kind of gave up on yourself or forgot about yourself. So this is gonna put you in a position to like want more for yourself, and kind of like less worry about whether other people are supportive, clapping, angry, or what the hell they're doing. It's like, who cares? As long as I got my award or whatever the case may be, as long as I got that, I'm not even looking to see. I'm not purposely scanning the audience to see who's being supportive or not. You know what I mean? I can care less. As long as they're not in my face harming me or anything like that, it's like caring less. Yeah, it's like they totally didn't see it coming, kind of thing. They could have thought something was just going to go out a whole certain way. And they could also be logical too, but not everything is logical. And I think that's something they're going to learn and figure out. Like, not everything is logical. It's like, oh, these certain numbers match this. So why isn't this person more successful? They got all the numbers. But sometimes things aren't always about numbers or logical, or, like things don't make sense sometimes. And I think that's something they're going to like figure out, you know? Maybe you'll even figure out as well. I don't know. They could even feel like, well, if they got it, I'm up next. So they could still be a little bit more logical with that as well. Because it's like, okay, I'm the next person up with the numbers or whatever the case may be after them. So I'm next. But again, it might not work like that. So they still gonna have to kind of learn to be a little less, logical, and realize that not everything is like what it seems. Not everything is like what you visioned it. Not everything, you know what I mean? Not there, not next. Who knows? Because again, certain things you can't like measure, or like, you know. It's the unknown. Yeah, it's like what makes sense. What made sense to them. But it's not about what makes sense to them. And that's something they have to realize. It's not about what makes sense to them. Yeah, I think they have to understand like how everybody got to a certain like conclusion. You know how they say listen to understand and not listen to react kind of thing. So again, it could be like one of those people who like wants everybody to like agree with, not necessarily want, but like think people should like agree with their kind of like opinion or at least understand it. And it's like not even everybody have to understand it either, you know? I think this is definitely going to change their world view. They might like be questioning certain people, certain religions, certain something. So it's definitely going to like shake the room for them and shake things up for them. Again, can't measure success. They might think something is a little unfair here. Not even just for like themselves, but like others. Again, they could just be like they could have had certain things in order. Like it's gonna be Lacey, then it's gonna be Kate, then it's gonna be me, then it's, and then that really didn't how everything went. So then it kind of like just threw them for a loop kind of thing. See, it says your dreams need a more practical plan, full money towards. Like I said, they're like not really, thinking straight. Ooh. But it's like I don't know if this is you or them. I think it could be them kind of finding themselves in certain situations because they're not taking so much control of their lives. Here, it's like although they might have certain strong beliefs, you'll be surprised that this person is not that difficult as if they come off. They're honestly probably being like controlled by someone else, or they're like again not taking as much control in their life because it could be a thing where it's like their birthday and then they want a cake that says like, oh, Capricorn season, and instead they get the cake and it says Virgo season. And instead of speaking up and getting things changed and stuff like that, it's like, oh, I'll accept it. You know what I mean? So I think they're a little bit more soft spoken than they probably look like on the outside. But I feel like you'll be surprised that they really are a little bit more soft spoken. Yeah. So it's like some of the same lessons that you have to learn. I kind of feel like this person has to learn as well. And that's probably why we got the Two of Cups and the Three of Pentacles out here. And then we got the Three of Cups out here. So it's like, little do you know, you guys can kind of be a little bit of the same in certain aspects. We got Libra Moon, so air signs could be significant. Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. Yeah, I feel like they try to like fit themselves into places that they just don't fit. They don't belong. There's no purpose for them. They don't, you know what I mean, kind of thing. And they have to stop trying to fit and insert themselves. And to find a healthy balance for themselves and others. I don't think they're a bad. I don't feel like they're a bad person. They just kind of gotta get some things in order. I feel like, and stop base and kind of like tune into other people's emotions, have a little bit more emotional intelligence and stuff. I don't think they're purposely doing it. I think they just need to learn a little bit. And it's not. It's I don't want to say there's nothing wrong with that, but I will say it's not like out of the ordinary for some people to like only see the world how they see it. Sometimes it takes a little while to see it a little bit how other people see it. You can only you mainly see it from how you see it because you're living your own life, right? So that's kind of like where they're at, seeing it how they see it. King of Cups is out here. Interesting. And I feel like they tend to like be more emotionally invested in people when they got certain stuff going on. Like if you were pregnant, they'll be a little bit more empathetic towards you. Not saying it's right. It's like, okay, I could have had the same amount of empathy from you, but it's like certain things kind of feel like pulling their emotions more. You know, we have let go of stuff hoarders. Some you could be a hoarder, they could be a hoarder. It's time to stop being self-destructive or self-sabotaging or complaining about everything, blaming things on people or not being grateful. Could like get you in a rut. We have go outside, touch grass. We have go on that date, don't be late. I don't know if it's with this person, it might not be. That could just be another message saying go on a date or go to that meeting, whatever it is, don't be late. Keyword, just don't be late. It also could be a thing too, like somebody's late and now they kind of missed out on their blessing. Now they're not even getting the award anymore because they was late. So it's like having to keep up, you know, certain repetition or reputation, whatever. But I don't think they declare you have the Two of Cups, Six of Swords, High Priestess, Star card in reverse. Oh, the Six of Swords is in reverse. Nine of Swords, Magician. Four of Pentacles in reverse. Fool card. Six of Wands, Moon card. Fool card. Empress, Emperor in reverse. Three of Cups, Three of Pentacles in reverse. Eight of Wands, Nine of Wands, World card in reverse, and then Ten of Pentacles. Do we have any repeating numbers or cards? Number 9, 3, 4. Yeah. It's true they give you the vibe that they didn't believe in you or that they didn't expect that. Actually, I'm gonna get something I wanted. Okay. Yep, it's gonna change their mind that you don't have to be a certain way to get a blessing. You don't have to what you gonna call it. It's not what they vision. You know, they're gonna learn all that. Yep. So if you don't need them, don't take them. Don't give them that importance. That's something I had to learn. I'm kind of still learning. Like I told you in another read, like I ignored the girl. Me over explaining at first was giving her power, giving her it was me putting her on a pedestal. And then I had to remind myself, like, wait a minute, I don't have to over explain myself to them. Who are they? Not to like discredit or belittle them, but just to not give them as much power because they didn't have the power. You know what I mean? It was just being factual and being real. They didn't have the power to do what they were doing. They didn't have the right to. They didn't have nothing to fire me or anything like that. So it was like, I didn't have to put them on a pedestal that I did. So I had to realize that. It's like, wait a minute, I'm doing too much. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm not supposed to be valuing their opinions that much. I'm not supposed to be worried about that what they think. I'm not supposed to be worried about what they're saying, what they're doing. Like none of that should be bothering me, kind of thing. Like yes, sometimes it will. We're human. We got feelings and stuff like that. But to a certain extent, it's like shouldn't be bothering. Shouldn't allow it to, kind of thing. Because some of the stuff you kind of do allow. Like I could have been at the beginning, kind of not over explained myself, or just walked away and like chose a better method. You know what I mean? But instead, I stood there for a minute and was over explaining. Then I kind of felt a little dumb. But then towards the end, it felt good when I just stopped over explaining and let them talk to themselves. You know what I mean? So it's like got half of a win. So now it's like the next time that happens, there's no over explaining. Because some people it's like they already know the truth. They just want you to make a fool out of yourself to prove to them, or value their opinion, or whatever the case may be. They already know it's wrong. They already know all the little things. They just want you to feel away for their enjoyment. You know what I mean? And even if it's not done on purpose, whether it's done on purpose or not, it's still never like put nobody on a pedestal like that. Especially when they don't deserve to be on there. Like at least let them be able to deserve to be on that pedestal. Then kind of can understand. But if they nowhere near deserve to be on that pedestal, don't worry about it because that's the biggest problem. Yeah. And some people could, like, you said the little mean vibe and all that. Like, yeah, some people are still in that stage. It's ridiculous. Like, I had a scenario with this guy at my job, and like, it was irritating me. And like, every time I explained the story to someone, they were like, "Oh, it sounds like he was flirting, or he must have liked you, or da da." And I'm like, I just don't see that. How? Like, he was annoying as fuck. What do you mean? I don't get that. Make it make sense to me. But literally, mostly everybody that I told, they're like, "Oh, it sounds like he was." So I could have misinformed. Yeah, I could have not. But either way, it shouldn't have bothered me as much as it did. To be honest, I allowed it to bother me because I allowed that person in my energy space. I allowed to over explain myself. I allowed certain things. Once you don't allow certain things, like, it can't affect you as much. You know what I mean? Like, never let nobody get in your space. Never let nobody make you over explain yourself or try to prove to them like they're fucking God or something. Some people are weird. Like, all that takes energy. Like, don't put yourself in a box or allow anybody else to put you in a box. Don't stay stuck in a situation that you clearly can free yourself from, you know? Yeah. There's nothing wrong with being sensitive, but it is something wrong with being extremely sensitive. That means you have too many open portals that you need to close. Yep, that's the thing. So start setting good boundaries. I am a little tired, so I don't know if I'll be able to make another question. I suppose if it's another quick yes or no, I could probably do it, but I probably don't have any energy for anything else. You're welcome, hon. Yep. Just keep setting. Some things aren't going to happen overnight, some things will, but just keep setting those boundaries. That's all you can do right now. Trust me, that goes a long way once you set boundaries. I'm telling you, it felt so good to ignore her and let her talk to herself. And, you know, after over explaining, like, I wish I would have just did that the first time, at the beginning. But it just felt good to take that moment to be like, zip. Something just came over me and said, stop talking. Stop over explaining. Stop talking to her. So I just said, zip. And I went about my business, and she just looked stupid. She looked stupid and she felt stupid. And then the next day she gonna smile at me like we're all the bestest of friends. Like, no, you just tried to, you know, be bitchy and ruin my day. No, so I didn't give her a smile. I didn't give her the energy the next day, and I think she has the memo now. And I realized, through all my years living and the trauma and shit that I've been through, I realized most of it was because I allowed to give my energy to people who didn't deserve it. I like that something. And it felt good for her to be smiling and all that. And I didn't give her no energy for her to talk to herself and all. It felt great. And some people might be like, oh, that's mean and blah, blah, blah. No, it was not. That's called boundaries, standing up for yourself and not giving your energy away and being drained and allowing yourself to be someone's punching bag, pretty much, or a people pleaser. That's, what I mean. It's a thin. Well, I don't want to say it's out. Maybe if it makes sense, it's a thick line between being mean and like having boundaries. I've been told all my life standing up for myself is mean and evil. No, the fuck it's not. And I got tired of hearing, "Oh my God, you're so nice," because that's not always a compliment. Sometimes that's like, "Oh my God, you're dumb. You're a doormat. You let everyone walk over you. Blah 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 blah. You don't want to hear that too many times. You know, it's cool a couple times, but you keep hearing it over and over from all kind of people all the time. Like, oh my God, you're super nice. Blah, blah. That's not a compliment. That means something is wrong. To be honest, I'd rather hear you're mean a lot than nice at this point, because I don't let too many things slide when I didn't really have to. And trust me, I was you a few. I mean, I'm still kind of like in the same energy as you, but I definitely the part where you said you were worried about them no longer wanting to be friends. I was kind of like that at a point before too, because it was so much people pleasing in me. But like I said, I worked over time. It's probably a little bit in there that I still kind of work on, but I came a long way. Trust me, and I want you to get there too. Exactly, definitely not worth it. Because trust me, you'll regret it, and you'll look back and be like, "Why did I give this fool my energy?" It's like, what do you look like proof to somebody who's not about nothing? They don't have nothing going for themselves. They don't want nothing going for themselves. They're treating everybody wrong. They're a crackhead, and they just got all kind of stuff going on. Not to say that people can't get better and stuff like that, and people don't make mistakes. But if you see someone clearly who has a certain pattern, they're just shit, and they don't plan on being a better person. Like, why even put them on a pedestal? To be honest, who gives a fuck about their opinion? The only opinion you should worry about is yourself and maybe God. I mean, not saying it like that, but I'm saying like if that's your religion kind of thing is what I'm saying. So it's like that's really all you have to really care about, to be honest. Like let people like make a fool of themselves because you can't control them. Even jail doesn't control some foolish people. So what do you think you're gonna do? You're not saying you're not powerful, but I'm just saying like some things you just can't control, and you're gonna make yourself crazy trying to control something you can't control. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make sense. But I can tell you one thing, and it's probably the last things that I'm gonna keep you. But you get out there more and step out of your comfort zone, you'll be less likely to people please. You'll have less anxiety. It's a lot of benefits to, um, because you're probably at a higher vibration than the 3D and stuff like that, but you still kind of want to place yourself here because you're here, in order to understand it more. But if you're in your own world all the time, you're isolating yourself, you don't get out much and stuff like that, you're gonna be overthinking more. You're gonna have more anxiety. You're gonna be more sensitive. You're gonna be more this. You're gonna be more that. It's, as opposed to if you get out more, you involve yourself more, you're gonna have a more understanding of certain things in this world. Yeah, what do you look like having a grudge and driving yourself crazy, putting them on a pedestal and all this other stuff, and carrying that for years while they just move on and go on with their lives? You know what I mean? If anybody deserves to move on and go on with their lives, it should be you, right? If you're the innocent one, I don't want to say victim because I hate using it, so I shouldn't use that one. If you're the innocent one or whatever the case may be, wouldn't you deserve it more, right? So why aren't you giving it to yourself? You know what I mean? Why do they get to move on? And you know why? Because you're not giving it to yourself. You probably asked that question like, why do they get to move on? And because you didn't move on for yourself and do all that. You know what I mean? That's why. Because they did it for themselves, even though they were probably an asshole, but they still chose to move on and all that. So you get to too. Yeah, maybe try to think about something else or something. I don't know. It's taking too much over you. Find a way to let it go and maybe figure out why you're holding on so much. What's really the root cause of you holding on to this so tightly? Yeah, you heard that? You said extremely shy. That's something that's an urgent matter probably to take care of right now before it gets worse. Because it could only get worse or it can only get better. And you know exactly what to do for it to get better. And trust me, I'm still there. I'm still got a little shyness, but I could tell you what's been helping me more recently is because I've been getting out more. And I noticed when I was in more, I had more anxiety. You know what I mean? So that's definitely one of the ways you can benefit that. Because I also feel like getting out more could help you to like relate to more people. If you aren't really finding many people to relate to now, getting out more can help you. You know, and just realizing more that like we're all human. Where most of us are going through the same things, and that type of stuff, and it'll make you feel a bit more better about yourself. That you don't have to care what people think. You don't have to be ashamed. You don't have to this, that, and the third. Like most people are going through the same stuff or worse. So it's not really nothing to be too extremely shy or worried or anything like that about, to be honest. Yeah, because I was there thinking I was the worst person on earth, even though I haven't even done nothing for real. It's like, why am I being bothered and picked on and this, that, and the third? Because some people are just assholes and it doesn't have much to do with you. But it was because I was so wrapped up in feeling like, you know, something was wrong with me. I was worthless, insecure, whatever the case may be, that didn't allow me to get out of the position that I was in. You know what I mean? But again, like I said, once you involve yourself more and realize, like, a lot of people have that same stuff going on, even the ones who are assholes, they probably even worse off. But a lot of people, whether they're good people or bad people or whatever you want to categorize them as, at the end of the day, we're all, well, some of them probably ain't human, but you get what I'm saying. Like, at the end of the day, like, most people are going through the same shit or worse. So it's nothing to really, it's nobody to put on a pedestal. It's nobody to care about nobody's opinion. It's nobody to have such shyness or anxiety about. It's nobody to, you know what I mean? It's like, let that shit go. And it's like, give up certain fights. Like some stuff, you just got to take an L on. Or you ain't even got to look at it as an L. Just let it go, and let it be what it is. Like some people you might have to replace, and you got to not take it so hard on yourself. If that makes sense. Like if it's like a favorite person that you had, it was a good friendship, and you really want that friendship back, and you've been fighting for it, but that person just won't come back. Eventually, you just gotta let it go, because maybe it's something better or just something different. Again, not everything can you control, so it's just like accepting it and letting it go. It's not saying don't stand up for yourself, but at a certain point, like it's only so much that you can do, you know. Some people say the best revenge is just walking away, and I feel bad for the most part because some people you'll be fighting back and forth to the grave, and it can get exhausting. Take for instance Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. They've been beefing for like 10, 15 something years. That got to be exhausting. And it's like, is it really worth it at the end of the day? I don't think so. Like, what are you getting out of holding a grudge, putting somebody on a pedestal, fighting back and forth with them, and whatever the hell is going on? What is it really gonna bring you? To be honest. Yep. You just gotta be able to put yourself beside those, more so beside those good people and stuff like that. Because that's, you made a good point. That could also be another thing. Like, you probably are gonna feel a certain way or have a certain view if you only been around, negative certain type of people. But once you get around those other type of people, then you see it's more to the world. It's more beauty. It's more this, that, and the third. You feel better about yourself. Hence when you're around other certain people. So that's a factor. It's not about think. It's about knowing. I said I think, but it should be I know. I know. You know why you know, because you're gonna do what you have to do to get there. That's why you know, because you know you're gonna do what you have to do. So that's why it should be know and not think. But yeah, we could be talking about this all day. To be honest, I feel like I have a passion of like helping people get out of rut and depressions and stuff like that, just because I experienced it and I feel like I learned some shit. But yeah, I'm about to go ahead and go to bed. But yeah, much love and blessings to you. Stay blessed, stay protected, stay confident, and stay unbothered. Even if you're not unbothered all the way, just get a little less bothered than you usually are. Because some things you can't just cut out cold turkey. It takes some time. Like, you might want to lose 100 pounds, but at least start off by losing 30 pounds and then eventually work your way up to 100 pounds. Sometimes you got to do the short goal before the long term goal. So, but all right. Bye. You're welcome. Of course. I'll see you guys on the next live stream, which is probably going to be Friday. We'll check out the latest collective reading that I've done as well. Suggest some video ideas. Remember, personal private readings go by email, phone, text, private live stream, or private recorded video. All right, peace.